Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our March webinar. My name is Courtney Arroyo, and I am one of the assistant coordinators here at the Department of Emergency Management and Security in Fairfax County. In March, we have a lot of things going on. We are going to be talking about severe weather. We're also going to be talking about flooding and all of the great things that we can do to prepare. Just as a reminder, our theme for 2025 is Together We're Ready, and we are really focusing on family preparedness and making sure that everyone is prepared for emergencies. Everyone's emergency plans and emergency kits look different. So as we go through the themes throughout the year, we'll really be honing in on how you can take all of the information that we're giving you and relate it to preparedness. So Ready Fairfax is our preparedness program. We go out into the community. So if you have any community events that are coming up, or if you would like a presentation to a specific group, whether it's a house of worship, a neighborhood, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, business, we have a lot of different courses and workshops that we offer. We also have a bunch of workshops that are offered online now as e-learnings too. So if you don't have the ability to have us out, or you're just interested in taking some of those courses, you can go on and take them. So I do want to talk about Severe Weather Awareness Week. Severe Weather Awareness Week is next week, starting on March 10th, and each day has a different theme. Next week is also Flood Awareness Week. So you'll be seeing a lot of information in our newsletter as well as on social media about flood awareness and some specific tips that you can use, particularly for flooding. So day one for Severe Weather Awareness Week, we have what is the meaning between a watch versus a warning. So a watch means that conditions are favorable for severe weather, and a warning means that the severe weather is either occurring or it's going to occur very shortly. We have a great image here. I know it's not Taco Tuesday, but this is a great little opportunity for you to relate what a watch and a warning is. So on the left, you can see we have a taco watch. We have all our ingredients, and we're probably cooking whatever's going inside of it. And then on the right-hand side, we have our taco warning. We're going to eat our tacos because they are all ready. All the perfect ingredients are there. So the same kind of goes for thunderstorms. We have a watch because we know that it may happen later in the day or in a little while. A warning means that we have perfect conditions for that weather, that severe weather to happen. So if you are signed up for Fairfax Alerts, this information does come through Fairfax Alerts through our weather subscription. If you're not signed up, it's a great thing to sign up for. In addition to those watches and warnings, within that weather subscription, we also have information on flooding. So you can sign up for River Watch messages if you live in the Bellevue or Huntington area, or you can just sign up for regular weather information, and that will get you the information on flash floods or anything flooding related that is being pushed out through the National Weather Service. Day two, you may not think that tornadoes happen here, but we have seen several instances of tornadoes throughout the past several years. We do get severe weather here. We could either see tornadoes from thunderstorms or other events that are happening in the county, such as straight line winds that could potentially give us some of those tornadoes. But we can also see tornadoes that can come from hurricanes that are passing through our area. So in the fall, when Hurricane Helene was passing through our area, we did see some tornado watches that were issued for our area. So one of the things that you guys can do at home is identify places away from windows located in the interior or the lowest level of your home to make sure that you are tucked away, far away in case windows break or anything. If you live in a condo or you live in a high rise, there may be some interior places in your house, such as your closet or a bathroom, that may be the safest. We do have a statewide tornado drill that is going to be happening on March 11th at 9:45 a.m. Fairfax County participates in this drill, but if you are not home or you want to participate in the drill afterwards, we will have some information on social media as well as in our newsletter about a different scenario that you can use and read to your family and then practice what you would do. So again, this is just a little conversation starter. So where's the safest place in your home? You could even draw a map and identify the different places that would be best in your home. If you weren't home, where would you meet after the storm? So if you couldn't get back to your house, where is your evacuation location that is either close or further away that you could all meet back up to? How will you communicate if cell service is down? You may not be able to communicate with anyone locally, but that is why we always recommend having an out of area contact, because you may be able to get a phone call out to someone in another state versus someone locally. And if everyone is calling that person, then you'll be able to communicate and coordinate through that central point of contact. In addition, sometimes if a tornado comes through, it may knock out power. There may not be an opportunity for you to leave your neighborhood. So this is where your emergency kit and your essential items like food and water, first aid supplies, anything that you may need for a couple days would really come into play. So make sure that you are coordinating with your family, depending on who's in your family. If you have young kids, if you have pets, if you have individuals with access and functional needs, do you have medication? Do you have supplies to accommodate that for a few days? So these are all just things to think of as we're getting into the spring season. We do see severe thunderstorms here in Fairfax County, and severe thunderstorms, they do or could bring hail, lightning, wind, tornadoes, flooding, flash flooding. So we want to make sure that we are really paying attention to the weather. So especially if you are, if you have anyone playing sports or attending outside events in the spring, make sure you're checking that weather to make sure, and then also identifying places where you would be able to shelter if you were stuck outside or heard thunder or saw lightning during those events. So flooding next week is also Flood Awareness Week. We do have two kinds of flooding here in Fairfax County that is identified as hazards. So we have regular flooding that can occur during long periods of rain. It comes along with a flood watch, flood warning, or a flash flood warning. And those are just typically when there's a lot of rain. It could be a lot of rain dropping in a short amount of time. It could be several days of rain that is just piling up. We could have a period of rain and then torrential downpour, which causes, obviously water to kind of pool. We always want to make sure that people aren't driving through flooded water as well. We also have coastal flooding, which has been identified as a hazard here. We do have areas that lie along the Potomac that do frequently flood. FEMA has redone the floodplain over the past couple of years. So it's really important that you go on and look to see if you are in a floodplain and make sure that you are prepared for that. One of the big mitigation activities that we do talk about with residents, if you know that your basement floods, one of the mitigation projects that you could do is waterproofing that basement. So mitigation is something that you can do beforehand in order to prevent further destruction. Sometime, and of course, mitigation activities versus waiting for it to happen and then having to go back and make those fixes after, it saves you a lot of money. So that's a really good practice to have. In addition, obviously sign up for Fairfax alerts. Those alerts, you If there is a flash flood warning, your phone may go off just like it does during an Amber Alert to let you know that there is flash flooding happening in your area. And we either advise that you go to higher ground or don't drive through flooded water, but it means a lot of rain is going to be coming in a quick period of time. And then just a little bit about flood safety. We want to make sure that folks are not driving through flooded water. We want to make sure, especially after the rain has stopped, if there is standing water, if there is moving water, we want to make sure that no one is going out and playing in the water. Flood waters can be dangerous. It can have debris in it. So we want to make sure that we are paying attention to that and making sure children and families aren't playing. We also want to make sure that you have an evacuation plan. So if you do live in a flood-prone area or in an area that is low-lying and you do get some flooding, where is a place nearby that you could go as a place of refuge? The other thing, too, is identifying a point of contact locally that you may be able to go stay with if that does become an issue. So outdoor weather safety, a lot of time in the spring, we are outside as much as we can, whether we are walking outside for sports, attending things that are happening in the community, but we want to make sure that we are identifying places to seek refuge if there is a thunderstorm or something going on. We also want to make sure that we are having folks stay hydrated. We are wearing suntan lotion and preventing heat-related illnesses in this area. It tends to get hot very quickly. We go from spring into that summer weather and have a lot of heat earlier than in other places of the country. So we want to make sure that we are prepared for that and bringing water and supplies with us. And then also never leave pets or children in cars. Temperatures rise extremely fast in cars. So we want to make sure that individuals, don't do that. If you ever do see anyone that has left children or pets in cars, you can always call the non-emergency number or the emergency number if it is an emergency and report that. And then just because it is St. Patrick's Day in March, don't count on luck. We want to make sure that we are prepared. So do you have an emergency kit? Do you have an emergency plan? These are very basic things that you could do ahead of time. A lot of individuals who are affected by emergencies and disasters, we often find don't have emergency bags, have not put together their important documents, and we don't want to have to count on luck. Luck only gets us so far. So if we do some of these activities ahead of time and we're gathering our important documents, we're ensuring that we have insurance, whether it's homeowners insurance, renters insurance, flood insurance, and we're getting all of our ducks in a row, we won't have to count on luck and we will be ready to prepare and recover from those emergencies when they happen. We also have daylight savings time that is coming up this weekend, and that is a great time where you can revisit our community emergency response guide and the emergency kit checklist that's in here and get some of those items up to date. One of the biggest things that we see is that folks forget to change out their clothes. So right now you should probably have warmer clothes in there, but we want to make sure that you have more spring and summer appropriate clothing as that comes up. And of course, one of the other things that we want to encourage you to do during daylight savings is to make sure that you do check the batteries in your smoke detector, change the batteries, and then also do a test on the alarms. So you can use this to practice a drill with your family and ensure that everyone kind of knows your emergency plan. This is a great time, even if you haven't practiced in a while. Do you have that location outside of your house where you guys can meet? If there is something that happens in your area and you can't get back to your home during an emergency, it's just another great thing to practice to identify where you would go to meet. You can also sign up for Community Connect, and that's just another one of our programs that you can input information about your home, about the people that live in your home, if anyone has any access and functional needs and may need further assistance during an emergency, and then also if you have pets at home. So just another great thing to do, make sure that all of that information is up to date. We did a Scout Day in February and had some scouts come visit the Emergency Operations Center. If you do have any Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts who are looking for an opportunity to get their Emergency Preparedness Badge or their Emergency Preparedness Merit Badge, you can always submit a request for a presentation and we can set that up. We will be having our First Responder Interaction Day at the Fire and Rescue Academy in April, and that will be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It'll be a great opportunity for individuals with disabilities and access and functional needs to come out and visit our first responders, do practice traffic stops, see what the inside of an ambulance looks like, and some of these, other things that may be stressful during the time of an emergency. But this is a great safe space in a controlled environment where we will be able to give individuals the opportunities to kind of practice what those look like. In September, we will be doing a preparedness expo at the Sherwood Community Center. So that will, more information will be coming out about that. And then we are gonna have an open house later this year in October at the McConnell Public Safety Transportation Operations Center, which houses our Emergency Operations Center as well as the 911 call center. So that'll be one of our public safety days, and we'll have the opportunity for you not only to come in and tour the facility, but we'll have the police department, the fire department, and some of our other community agencies here to have a great big community event. And again, these are just some great resources for you to sign up for. Of course, Fairfax Alerts, so you can get your emergency alerts, weather alerts, and traffic alerts. Community Connect, I just talked about signing up to make sure our first responders have any additional information that you want to give them when they're responding. And then our emergency health profile, this goes right to the 911 call center, and the call taker has the ability to see whatever you put in here when that call is answered from the phone number that you've registered with. So all of these, Community Connect and the emergency health profile, really just aid in the response and give our first responders additional information. And then Fairfax Alerts is more of a preparedness opportunity and tool for you to use. Through Fairfax Alerts is also where we have our newsletter. So that's another subscription that you can sign up for. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We have a lot of great content, especially when we have weeks like Severe Weather Awareness Week and Flood Awareness Week. We have tips, tricks, videos, different things that we share throughout the week. And then, of course, like us, follow us, comment, and you could even post, tag us and post a picture of your own emergency kit. We love to see everyone out there, making sure that they're prepared for emergencies. So what's up next? In April, we are actually going to have a special guest from the Virginia Voluntary Organization Active in Disasters. We call it Virginia VOAD. We've gotten a lot of great questions recently about how residents can help when disasters do happen, especially when they're not in our area. How can they go and help? And we have the VOAD president who is going to join us and tell us about some of the opportunities and organizations that people can volunteer with. So that's going to be a really great opportunity for folks to learn about volunteering and just what you can do within our community, but also outside of our community. If you have any questions or comments or want a presentation, please feel free to reach out to us, and we're happy to get that scheduled. I hope you guys have a great March, and we will see you in April.